Hello there, we're here with Tilda today, who's got a couple of issues of stealing things from worktops. So we're going to do a few techniques today to help her bring stuff to us, but the stuff we actually wanted to bring to us. So, Will, we've got Tilda.
Yep.
What's her background?
So Tilda's 2 years old. Her background was originally for training as an assistance dog. And she was also trained as a sniffer dog. However, the drive for the sniffer dog wasn't there, and the assistance side of things, she was very intrigued with stealing.
Right, okay, yeah.
Not the right things. So yeah, unfortunately she failed for that, and this is where we thought we'd give her a home and see if we can get over some of those issues. Okay,
and the problem is she's taking things off of worktops.
Worktops, yeah, you name it. It could be anything from a slipper to a Sky remote, calculator, you name it.
And is she destroying any of that stuff?
No.
She's just picking it up.
Just picking it up.
Okie dokie. So part of that issue is that she's been trained to do so.
Yes.
And she's a clever girl, so she wants to keep doing something that makes her feel good. So today we want to go through a few things of turning that into more of a job for her, an activity, so that we can teach her to bring the right things to you.
Okay.
And of course rewarding her for doing that and not so much on the stuff that perhaps she doesn't want to be picked up.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, we're going to bring Holly in and we're going to start to do a couple of little things to help Tilda and Will to get a happier household.
Okay, so here we have the very mischievous Tilda that we're here to kind of work on. So a little bit about the counter surfing, as it were. I know she does it to the table and lots of places around the house. Does it tend to be when it's up high, or is it anything?
It's anything.
Anything. Okay, wonderful. So Tilda was trained to bring stuff. Because she was trained to be an assistance dog, so she's trained to bring stuff. So what we want to be doing is we want to be using that, because she obviously really likes doing it. She feels really good when she does it, and it's by now a bit of a default thing in her. So what we want to do is we want to harness that, use it, and actually make it work with us in our day-to-day life. So what I want you to do is kind of work with Tilda and start putting these things on a cue. So when she goes to pick up a hat, I want you to pair the cue. So when we talk about pairing a cue, so as she's doing the behaviour, I want you to pair a cue like bring it or over here or whatever you want that kind of behaviour to be called, and start pairing that cue to that behaviour. So she starts to associate, oh, when I have the item, owner says that must mean bring it to them. Okay.
Yeah.
So how's her release? Does she give up stuff quite easy?
Most of the time.
Yeah?
Yeah, most of the time she does,
So she's got a really good release. And what do you normally say when you ask her to kind of drop or off?
So we either say bring it.
Okay.
Or if she does bring it, we reward her and saying yes.
Yes,
like and then reward her with a treat.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so yes is like you've done good, release it, and then she kind of, you're swapping it out. So you're swapping it out, which is great. So whenever you've got a dog that brings you things or doesn't bring you things, it's really, really good to swap that item that they have for a reward. Okay, so you're not ever just taking it off the dog all the time. You're actually rewarding them for giving it up. Okay, because that items potentially can be quite precious to them. Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to have a little look and see what she kind of gets. So we've got a hat on the side, we've got some tea towels, and we've got, she's going straight for the slippers. So now she's got slippers, I want you to call her over and then say bring it. Okay. When she's picked it up and it's in her mouth. That's it.
Bring it.
That's it.
Bring it.
And then say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and lots of praise. Well done. Excellent. Fantastic. Well done. So that's the sort of thing I want you to be doing when she does get stuff. Because she's got that service side to her, it's been kind of ingrained in her. So she wants to do it because it makes her feel good, and she also knows it's going to make you feel good because whoever she was with did this lots and lots and lots of times. She's kind of wanting that reinforcement. So whenever she does get stuff, I want you to do that. But we're going to have a little talk on the next section about how we can work with Tilda by building it up in different training situations. So I'm just going to ask you to call her over and pair the cue, bring it.
Tilda, bring it. Bring it. Tilda, bring it.
Well
Yes,
done,
good girl,
lovely.
good
So did you see
girl.
that? She wants to bring you it. She didn't just want to take it off the side. She dropped it, then picked it back up to bring it to you. So she obviously really enjoys kind of bringing you stuff. So I know that other side of the question
Yes.
is how do I stop her not doing that? Because it's all very well kind of saying that's great, but
Exactly.
how do we stop her not doing it? Because there are going to be items where we don't want her to get, and
Correct.
you know, there might be a nice turkey or chicken up there or something like that. We don't want her to access. So what I would do at that point is I would start to ignore the times that she does go to the side and she does pick up something that you don't necessarily want. So say it's a tea towel and you haven't asked her for it. I'd ignore that behaviour, not make such a fuss of it. And what we're going to do is start asking her much more to go and get stuff on purpose. So it's a bit like a frustrated artist. They want to art and do create, so we give them an outlet to do that. So it kind of gets it out their system, so they're not looking to go self-employed and do it naturally. So we're giving her a job to do, which will help reduce the amount of time she wants to do it naturally on her own, because she's already kind of fed that need to go and do it. And we're not going to actually give that praise and that kind of attention to when she's going self-employed. We're going to do all of that when we ask her to do a job.
Okay, sounds good.
Perfect. That's it. So call her over.
Tilda, bring it. Tilda, bring it. Yes, good girl, good girl. Yes.
Well done. That was a really good example of getting that, putting it on a cue and calling her over. So another thing we can do is, because Tilda's really intelligent, she's got a really busy brain, you can see that she's been worked from a really young age and she's always kind of looking for something to do. So she's always she's always kind of on the hunt for some work to do, as it were. So another thing we can do is we can teach them how to read. Okay. And now teaching them how to read and ask them to do something like sit, but then once they start to understand the concept of it, we can then apply this to teaching her to go and find and bring things. Okay?
Yep.
So, sit. Good girl. Okay, so we're going to start off by showing you with a really simple one, which is sit. Okay. So what I'm going to do, has she got a hand signal for her sit?
No.
She hasn't. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the verbal cue sit. I'm going to show her the flashcard at the same time. So I'm going to use the two together. Okay. I'm going to do that about 5 or 6 times.
Right.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away the verbal, I'm going to show her the flashcard and see if she's paired it. So it doesn't matter if she's not necessarily looking at the word. She can see it. Yeah. And she can distinguish the shapes and stuff. So they can start to differentiate between different words. All right. So Tilda, come on. Sit. Good girl, well done, excellent, good girl. This is all great brain training and stuff like that, so it gives her something to do. Come here. Sit. Good girl, well done, she's so good. Okay, so I'm kind of drawing her out of that, and then sit. Good girl, well done, excellent, well done, good girl. Sit. Good girl. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show her the card, and if she sits, I'm just going to wait, and I'm just going to see if she sits. I'm not going to do that one. Then we're going to reward her. Good girl, well done, excellent job. Okay, so sit's quite a really simple one to start off with because they sit quite easily, but we can start moving this to down. We can then start to attach different words to obviously different items. So if you she's got a donut thing here which she really likes, so you could put like donut on the word, and then she can start pairing it with different items. We're teaching her to read to get the item. You've got 2 10-year-old girls, correct?
Yes, I have.
They will love this game. They will find it so much fun. So this is a really good thing to work her brain, but also include what she loves to naturally do.
Great.
All right?
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, well done. And down. Good girl, well done. So she actually looked straight at the flashcard after she lied down, but she did look at the flashcard to acknowledge it. Okay. So Mark's just helping me by calling her over to break the behaviour. So I'm going to call her back. Tilda, come on. Good girl. Good girl, okay. Down. Good girl. So I didn't really use a hand signal then. I used to use a verbal.
Okay.
Good girl. Well done. So this is a bit like hard work. This is.
Yeah. I've actually got to work for this.
But see how it's working her brain. Okay, Tilda, come on. Tilda, come on. Okay, I'm just going to try it by producing the flashcard. I'm going to give her a little bit of time to think.
Yes.
There we go. Well done. Good girl. So it's really important when we're teaching them new things that we give them enough time to think.
Yep,
Work it out.
Yep.
A bit like algebra at school. It kind of hurts your brain for a bit. And then we kind of need that time to process it. So it's really, really good to give them that kind of headspace. Tilda, come on. So when your girls are doing it with them, make sure that they're giving her enough time to think about it.
Okay.
Let her think. You see her eyes?
Yep.
She's thinking. Now she's got a bit distracted because she can hear mum on call. Distracted again. I'm going to let her come back to me. Her brain's frozen.
The brain's thinking.
She's still thinking. She's still thinking. Good girl. Well done. Well done. So the fact that she's thought about that and I haven't helped her will help just cement that behaviour.
Right, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, really interesting.
Wonderful. So what I'm doing is I'm just walking around. We've just had a little bit of a break. So I'm just going to see if Tilda remembers what we've just taught her. So I'm going to call her over. Tilda, come. Good girl. And I'm going to produce a flashcard. Oh, clever girl. Well done. Excellent. Amazing. So we've learned that, in 30 seconds. So imagine what you could do in 30 days. That's
brilliant.
Amazing, won't it? Well done. Good girl, Tilda. Okay, so this is a sort of thing that we want her to do. We want her to be nice and calm and relaxed. She's doing something. And if you noticed, different to what she was like before when I kind of first arrived, she's not searching for something to do, something to entertain her. So what we want her to do is have that nice, peaceful place where she can come and chew and just chill out and have her brain occupied as well.
Great.
Yeah? Wonderful.
So you've got your chews that you can use for her, but you've also got pineapple. Rubber pineapple. It's always good. I've had that for about a year. That's good stuff.
Okay.
So you pop some little treats in there.
Yep.
And you can also put them in the holes there. But if we give that to her, and then if we sit down, we'll see what she does with the pineapple. So she should try and work out how to get the food out of that pineapple.
Yes. Yeah.
So you might find that occasionally she does throw it about the place a little bit. So anything else, be careful. But again, this is something you can just put a few little tiny treats in. It's not a lot of food.
No.
But just a few little tiny treats just to keep her brain going. What I want to see with this at a certain point is she lays down with it.
Right.
Like with the chew.
Yes.
I wanted to learn that if I've got something like that, if I just lay down, I can chew this for ages. I feel good. I'm busy. I'm occupied. I don't need to go and take things I shouldn't take.
Right.
Much easier. It's really important that when she's got things like this, we kind of leave her alone a little bit.
Yes.
When she does that, very calmly, good girl. And it's just that real low-key praise that says to her, this is great. And what I'm looking for next is her to sort of sploot out at the back, so the back legs stick out.
Okay.
We want to see a proper relaxed dog.
Right.
So things like that, which are super cheap.
Yep.
Then this is a great way of her just relaxing, chilling out, and then she'll get into the habit of doing it more and more often.
Brilliant. Okay, just a thought. So I work remotely every now and then, and so if I'm working at my desk and she's prowling around, what do you suggest I should be doing? Okay, so what we need to be doing is thinking about how we can occupy her brain when you need to get on with life. Okay, so it's all very well and good suggesting distraction techniques and training and stuff like that, but we have to work, don't we? Yes. And it's just not doable all the time. So
what we need to be thinking about is occupying her brain when we can't occupy her brain.
Okay.
Yeah. So increasing the amount of natural chews you give her. So like buffalo hooves, tendons, bladder, beef bark, things like this.
Okay.
That she can kind of really get stuck into and can stimulate her for a period of time.
Right.
While she's kind of working. Because like we said before, Tilda's got quite a busy brain. So she's always going to be looking for something
to do.
So what chewing does is it also helps calm them down.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So it helps relax her, so it can help put her in a more relaxed state when you are working. But also as well, because she's a lab, likes to hold things in her mouth, so it'll give her that satisfaction of as something that's quite tasty, but she can also have in her mouth for a longer period of time. So got a little bit of beef bladder here.
Lovely.
I'm going to ask for a sit. Good girl, well done. So this will last probably about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But we're looking for something that maybe lasts a little bit longer, yak chews.
Okay.
But I can give you a whole list of stuff that will really kind of help keep her mind occupied.
Brilliant.
Another thing we can do is we can look at feeding her in different ways. So say you're giving her breakfast, do you feed her kibble or do you feed her...
Kibble and wet.
Perfect. Okay, so for instance, kibble and wet. You can put her Kong in a kibble. She's got work to try and get that out. You can stuff some wet food in a hoof.
Okay.
And she's got to then work to get it out. It's called contra freeloading. And it's really, really good to get their brains working and working for their food, basically. Okay. This will help tire her out too. You can also scatter feed in the garden. I see you've got a Kong over there.
Yes.
So you can pop some food in there and she can access that when you're working and maybe you're on a call or whatever. But looking for different ways you can feed her. So you really want quite a few different ways that you can feed her throughout the week. Never two the same.
Right.
So think about switching it up. So it's really good to get a diary or a calendar and just put some ideas down of how different ways you can feed her throughout the week. Yeah.
Brilliant.
This will help her.
So we've been through a few things today.
Yes, you have, yeah.
She's done brilliantly well today. She has done fantastically well. With all the toys we're going to give her, all things like the pineapple, things like that, it's really important that once she's finished with it, pick it up, wash it up, put it away, maintain the value of that item.
Right.
That's going to help her then to see it as a much more valuable thing when she wants to have it again. So carry that on for the next couple of weeks.
Okay, we'll do.
And then if we can come back and do a follow-up one.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Where you can show all the control you've got. That'd be fantastic.
No problem.
So have a look in a few weeks' time for the second part of this vid, and we'll see how Tilda gets on.